Hello and welcome to another episode of Red and Blue. Today we're going to do a tier list on defenders. There's quite a lot of good defenders on this list, and we're going to see whether we can agree on who's the best, who's very good, who's meh, and who's in the bin. I don't think anyone's going to go in the bin because that would be a bit unfair. I know
I
people
think
might.
they will. One player in particular.
I know Ant wants to put one player in there, but we'll get to that in a bit. Where would we like to start, Anthony?
I'll make a start. I'll start with Ashley Cole. Um, Very good, straight up.
Very good.
Obviously had a few years at Arsenal in his younger years. I think he had his best years at Chelsea, I'd argue. Yeah, what a good player. As a left back, he sort of revolutionised that left back position almost under
Some
Mourinho.
people say the greatest left back of all time in the Premier League. Would you not agree with that?
No, I wouldn't. I think
Well, who is then for you?
Benjamin Mendy. It's got to be no.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know.
if it's not him, then there's one man on this list that it could be.
Oh, it's not.
Well, I
It's not
think
Patrice Evra.
personally, I'll concede maybe Ashley Cole is potentially better than Patrice Evra, but I think he probably needs to go in the GOAT then on that. He was a very good left back, but he was probably the best of all time. I mean, I've never seen anyone keep Ronaldo as quiet as he did.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll settle for that one. But yeah, for me, I mean, obviously he was a great player. He's got great stats behind him, and obviously he's won all the silverware there possibly is to be won. Think about Ashley Cole, has he? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
I
has.
think he's won
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. He was really good, but he doesn't stand out to me where I'm like, wow, he was the greatest. I guess that's just my opinion, but I mean, whatever. Um, there's so many
Fair
United
enough.
players in this list, it makes me sick.
Well,
So
we have the best defenders though. So
I'll let you crack on with the next one.
Dennis Irwin. Well, in his younger days, from the videos I've seen, he was definitely a really good player. So he kind of, when he got older, obviously his output dwindled a bit. But yeah, he was a good player. Could take penalties. Scored a lot of penalties for United. Definitely a good player.
Penalties.
Yeah, he used to take penalties, and he
What,
scored quite a lot.
what position
Only
was he
remember him
again?
missing. He was a left back. He
Blooming
took
hell.
a lot of penalties in the treble winning season. He's a good player, Dennis Irwin. Very reliable. 7 out of 10 every week. I'm not. I don't know why you're laughing. That wasn't a joke.
No, just
Gary Neville. He's
good.
definitely very good. Very good.
Mm. Do you remember when Sean Goater turned him inside out?
Man's allowed a bad game.
Go on,
There,
Sean.
there
Go on.
isn't another right back on that
I mean,
list
he
who's
he
got
knew.
better delivery than a prime Gary Neville.
That's funny because I can see Cal Walker not missed down there.
Well, he's not got the delivery Gary Neville had. Gary Neville could whip a ball in.
Oh God, here we go.
All right, you put him in good. You put him in good. I mean, you got him out of the team of the year for Pui Zabaleta. It doesn't even make this list because
Yeah.
that's how
Also,
irrelevant he is.
honourable mention for Pablo Zabaleta. He should
Nah,
be in this list.
he's
Um,
irrelevant. He doesn't need an honourable
I don't know
mention.
whoever made this list, but if you ever see this, put Pablo Zabaleta in this list, please, for the love
He'd
of
only be
God.
going in. He'd only be going in meh or good. He won't be going any higher. So
No, he definitely would.
wait, well, he wouldn't. He can't be higher than Gary Neville.
He definitely can. He's a better player than Gary Neville.
Well, he definitely wasn't. So Gary Pallister, a player I didn't really see much of. So to not disrespect him, I'll say good because he's a United player. Yep, Stam. This one I'll argue with Ant over. Very good. Yep, Stam was a world-class defender. Very good defender. One of the biggest mistakes Fergie made was letting Yap Stam go. He's openly admitted that. He was a very good player. Quick. For a big guy, he was quick. He was hard as nails, go into every tackle. That treble winning season, he was so important to our defence. So he's got to be a very good player.
Okay. Okay.
Jamie Carragher. Go on, Ant. You can talk about Jamie Carragher.
I mean, if you've watched our sports highlights of the week, you'll have seen Jamie Carragher's career highlights. Just a brief one. The king of the own goal. From what I remember of him, he was always making mistakes. I remember him making a mistake against when they were playing Arsenal in that crazy 4-4 game. he's the reason really why Arshavin scored 4 goals. If I'm being honest with you, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, Arshavin had a great game, but partially down to this guy's stupid errors. For me,
Should we,
either
should we put
there
him in
or
meh?
meh. Either there or meh. I'd love to put him there, but
Let's put him in meh.
I think meh. I mean, he's hype support. He was around for a long time. That's great. So was Richard Dunn, but he's not in this list. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nah, not for me at all. That guy.
fair enough.
John Terry, I put him in very good.
Again, just very good.
Maybe even go actually thinking about it.
He was a warrior, wasn't he? Really?
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
Won
he
everything
was
there was to
around for a
win.
long time. He was at the top of his game for a long time as well. Like a couple of others in that list.
Yeah, he's a leader as well, proper leader of men,
Yeah,
and it was unfortunate that he liked to sleep with the people's wives. But yeah,
yeah,
I
definitely.
couldn't say he was an all-round good guy, but as a football player, keeping it strictly football, yeah, what a guy, what a
Yeah,
player.
agree.
Kolo Toure, from the time he spent with us, I thought he was really good. I wouldn't say he was a GOAT sort of player. I know he spent a lot of years at Arsenal as well, and you can argue he came to
Part
us
of the
at sort of
Invincibles,
the
wasn't he? But
back end of the career. But I'd,
I'd
I'd put him
probably
very
agree
good.
with very good. Yeah, he was part of that Invincibles team, and I think he was an important part in that.
He always put a good
From
shift in for us, and I can't really argue
yeah,
with anything he ever did with us. You know, he always
no,
played really well. So yeah. Kyle
Kyle
Walker,
Walker.
I'd like to put him in very good as well, if I'm being honest.
I'd like to put him in good.
Mm,
I think he gets caught out a lot at the back, to be
okay.
honest with you. Especially in his Tottenham days, if we're going from his whole career. He got caught out quite a lot there, and he does rely on his pace too much. And when that goes, this guy's going to be exposed
But has
for
it gone yet?
not being as good a defender. He hasn't gone yet, but he's going to be exposed at some point for not being as good a defender.
So his pace hasn't gone yet, and he's still
No,
a
true,
fantastic player.
but
He's playing under Pep,
I
so he's
mean,
playing the right way. He's
I can't really put him in very good for defensive abilities. He just doesn't do it for me, defending wise. Going forward, he's very good.
remember them. Well, what was it? 3 or 4 really good seasons he had at Spurs. Obviously, then he got the transfer with us. How important he was in that league, that first league win. How important he was in the second one as well. Really, I mean, this season
Uh,
he's faltered a little bit, but the
I
guy's
just,
untouchable. He's been around for ages. He's always sort of been on everyone's top of everyone's list as a right back. You can't argue he's one of the best right backs in the world, if I'm being honest.
he's one of the best right backs in the Prem. I would think the world's a bold statement.
Who's better than
He's
him?
got a mistake in him. He's definitely got a mistake in him.
Who's better than him in the world then? Because I know there are
What,
some.
right back
Yeah.
wise? Kimmich.
Okay.
I prefer Kimmich. Danny Carvajal, I'd say, was probably better than him. Might be
You're
dwindling a bit
joking.
now.
I don't know if you watched that game against us. Danny Carvajal was nowhere to be seen. He absolutely
You can have a
nowhere
bad
to
game.
be
You know,
seen.
you can have a bad game, mate. Kyle Walker's had a few bad games. Like, you can't be 10 out of 10 every game.
The entire Real Madrid team, from what I see online, is having bad games week after week, though, currently.
Yeah, this season, yeah. I can agree with you on that.
He's got big game
I'd
mentality as
say
well, Kyle
Nelson
Walker.
Semedo as well is better than Kyle Walker.
No, not yet. Maybe down the line. Not yet. Not yet.
No, I would say so.
You think about how many clubs were after his signature when he was leaving Spurs, and what a
Well,
big game player he is. Honestly, I
we
would
can
put him in that tier. He does make mistakes.
we can leave it. We can leave him in there. Okay, we'll leave him in there. But right, no worries. I don't want to say any more on it.
Okay. Ledley King.
I'd put him in very good as well. I think if he remained injury free, he probably could be contender up in the GOAT. He was unbelievable to be training once a week and then playing professional football. I mean, I don't think any other player could do that.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's obviously a warrior of the Prem, sort of a legend of the Prem as well. You know, when you think of the Prem, he's possibly one of the names that would come up.
Yeah, especially when you're not like thinking of from our perspective, United and City players.
Never,
It'd definitely be yeah.
he never really played for sort of a big team that was challenging, did he? I don't really think silverware was something that was in his locker, but you always knew what you were getting with him. I think it was always going to be a tough game for the attacker that was playing against him or whoever he was playing for. So yeah, I'd agree with a very good tier with that one.
Marcel Desailly.
Mm,
I'd probably say. I mean, again, I wouldn't want to do him a disservice. He's a World Cup winner. I know we're just judging off the Prem. He probably came to the Prem a bit late. I know he was very good in his AC Milan days.
yeah.
So I'd stick with good just on the Prem if we're just going to go just off the Prem. But if it was everything else, he'd probably have to be a very good player.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Martin Keown, again, I'd say the same.
I'd
He
put
was a
him
bit
good.
before out of time.
Yeah, I'd put him good, to be honest.
I think he was overshadowed by another guy on that list. I'm sure we'll get to him in a bit. Another Arsenal player on that list.
Okay, do you want me to shock you with the next one?
Vidic. Now, I know you like Vidic
I-
because you made me put him in the thing. Well, not you like him, but you know what I mean. You like the type of player he is.
Yeah, he's one of them players that you hate to admit, obviously, because he plays for the other team. But I mean, you've said it about De Bruyne and many players in our team at the minute that you hate to admit it, but they are good. He's one of them players. I
Yeah.
hated him because he did always look dirty and he always went in hard for a challenge. He never went in half-hearted. But he was the player that I wanted at City at the time. Watching him and being like, just imagine if he was in our back line and we didn't have Richard Dunn. Imagine how much further we'd get. Imagine how many clean sheets we'd keep. And he was just a warrior. He just didn't care. And eventually we got our own warrior in Zabaleta way down the line. But it wasn't the same. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like I know he wasn't in the Prem. How many years was he in the Prem? I don't feel like he was around for that long, really.
5 or 6, I think. 6, 7. 7.
So compared to some of the other players in that terrace, John Terry and Ashley Cole, it's not
Yeah,
nowhere near as long.
no,
But I feel like he
7 or 8 years.
made his mark, definitely.
Keep flip flapping, but he was there for Moyes as well because he's in that Moyes kit there. So
Yeah, poor guy.
remember his Bayern Munich goal. Yeah, he fell out with Moyes because he asked him to watch videos of Phil Jagielka. Imagine that, asking Nemanja Vidic and Rio
Where did he go
Ferdinand
after
to watch
that?
videos of Phil Jagielka. He went to Inter Milan, but he was gone. His legs had gone.
Right.
And he got too many injuries, really.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, for what we had for him, brilliant player, bargain as well, 5 million
Yeah,
bargain,
yeah.
5
Not for 5
something
mil.
ridiculous. Patrice Evra, I want to put him in the very good tier. I know Ant doesn't like him as a person, but we're talking purely on football ability here.
I just feel like he's a very fake person. He puts all this online about, I love this game and how he's this happy guy. But I don't know. It feels like it's all plays. That's how many karate kicks someone in the head. I don't know
being
what
disrespectful, though, he deserved it.
Yeah, did he know that for sure? I mean, I don't know. He plays the whole nice guy, look at how happy I am, and it's like, yeah, thanks for rubbing it in that you're a billionaire football player. Yeah, that's great of you. I love this game. Yep, well, I hate seeing your face on my timeline. Yeah.
I'd put him very good. He was a really good player.
Was he?
Yes, he was. He was. He was an excellent player. If he doesn't go in very good, I'm leaving this right now.
I might be willing to put him in very good, just on the fact of what he did to Luis Suarez, and how he sort of ended him a little bit, and the simple fact of him celebrating in front of him. That was the best thing I think he did.
Well,
okay.
Well, not for me, but obviously he was a leader, great player, Patrice Evra.
Okay.
Love you.
William Carvalho, is that?
Ricardo
Carvalho. Sorry, not William.
He was quite important as well, wasn't he, with John Terry when Chelsea were. I mean, let's not just forget in their first season as a partnership, Chelsea only conceded 15 goals in that season. That's never been done, and I don't think that'll ever be done again.
No.
15 goals.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it, really?
And obviously, you can say that it was just Terry, but it can't have just been Terry. It was obviously Ricardo Carvalho as well was a big part of that. And Cech, obviously can't discount Cech. For me, I'd probably lean towards between good and very good. I might be tempted to go very good, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember of Carvalho, he was a great player. I seem to remember him and Cole being in the same team, is that right?
Who?
Him and Ashley Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. I mean, he was at Chelsea for a few years. I think he left for Real Madrid when Ronaldo went to Real Madrid. So.
And I think that's when everyone sort of stopped hearing about him. I'm not saying he didn't do anything at Madrid. I'm not really sure. I don't watch the Spanish league that much, if I'm being honest. But from what I saw of him at Chelsea, yeah, he was, he was one of them sort of, well, at the time, a new fullback who was bombing it up and down the line.
Yeah,
and they sort of revolutionised the game a little bit for fullbacks.
I can agree with that.
But yeah, I definitely agree with putting him in the very good tier. Don't even think about putting this guy in the GOAT tier, Nick. Real
Well, he
Ferdinand.
deserves it. Legend.
Can he do it without drugs though?
Mate, he wasn't on drugs for his whole career.
Did he take that drugs test though?
He passed every other drug test.
Did he?
Didn't take one.
Just didn't take
Yeah.
that one. Just thought, not that one.
Yeah.
I'll do all of them, just not
Not that
Just
one.
not that one.
Yeah.
Don't want to do
just
that.
not that one. He was moving house, mate. You know, it was a complicated time. He was a great player, and you can say what you want, but to be at the top of your game for 10 years, from 2003 he was in till 2013, he was one of our first choice centre backs.
Do you not feel like this guy carried him a little bit?
No, they complemented each other. That's what great partnerships do. Vidic was obviously the tough tackling one, and Ferdinand was the one with the pace. And he was really good. A great player. Go.
Okay.
I know you hate that because you don't like him, but it is what it is.
To be honest, I don't mind him as a pundit. He's actually not a bad pundit. I
You
know
just
he
don't like him as a
tried the whole
person.
boxing thing as well, but it's just a person.
He never had a match, did he?
Any
Just-
player that takes drugs or is accused of, they're accused for a reason. And I don't like that. That's cheating in sport, obviously. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Pep keeping that doctor on that was found guilty of drug enhancements. Yeah, I mean,
Not
yeah, you
confirmed, though, is
call
it?
out Ferdinand.
We
you
as fans
call out
don't-
Ferdinand.
we as fans don't need to worry about that. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it, mate. You call Rio out about that. How your players come back from injury, broken leg. Oh, I'm back next week. How your players do that? Unbelievable. Anyway, let's move on before we digress into some more debates. Sami Hyypiä, I put him in good.
Good. Yeah, he was never really amazing. He was never
No.
really bad. He was just sort of like a consistent,
Good player, yeah.
sort of player.
You can tell we don't like talking about Liverpool players.
I know, yeah. Moving swiftly on.
Sol Campbell, should we put him in very good or good?
I'd put him in good. I feel like he left
Fair
himself.
enough.
He let himself down going to Notts County. That was mad. I remember when that happened. I was like, what's going on over here? Yeah, again, solid Premier League player. He was good. He was never anything sort of up there, I wouldn't say, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he was part of the Invincibles defence, but I mean, that's all you got really to cling to.
That's it, yeah, and that's all any Arsenal fan really has to cling to.
Just say he's a
Arsenal
good
fans
player. He was a
TV,
bit
don't
disloyal,
come
wasn't
our
he? Bit disloyal. No, I'll take troops on me. Bit disloyal.
Okay, we were talking about this guy the other day, funnily enough, in our Shot News video.
We were in.
If you haven't watched that,
Indeed.
go and watch it, about the Newcastle takeover. But as a player, Steve Bruce, Nick?
He was important in our first title, and he scored 2 crucial goals against Sheffield Wednesday. He was a mainstay. He was one of them. It sort of drew comparisons Vidic and Ferdinand did to Bruce and Pallister from, being quite similar a partnership. We hadn't had one really that was consistent since Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister till Vidic and Ferdinand. So I'd definitely put him in good. Is basically what I want to say.
Okay.
I can't judge him enough because obviously I've not seen him play.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony Adams,
I'd put
a
him
guy
in
again that's
good.
raved about. He's raved about, isn't he?
Yeah.
From everyone, pundits, everyone alike. I'm tempted to go very good. I mean, again, I didn't really see him play, and maybe I'm trusting people's word too much. But I'd be tempted to go very good because of what I've heard about him.
I feel like he is just a good player.
Do you think he's overhyped then?
I feel like he is a little bit overhyped, if I'm being honest.
I suppose he is a leader, though. He was a proper leader, wasn't he, on the pitch?
He is a leader.
That's what I remember most of him about him.
If that's the only thing you've really got going for, I mean, Carragher was a leader, but he's in the Met here, so I mean,
True.
it can't really get you too much, can it?
No.
Okay. Oh wow. Right. Vincent Kompany.
This one's going to hurt you. I'd go very good.
Unreal player. So important for us.
He's left a legacy, I'll say that.
Signed for a steal of just under 10 mil. Mark Hughes signing. Thank you, Mark Hughes. Came as a midfielder, transformed into a defender, transformed into a captain, a leader, and just everything that this club is about now is down pretty much to this guy. Great guy off the pitch as well, helping the homeless. So he's a good guy off the pitch, good guy on the pitch, great player. It's got to be. It's got to be. I'm not accepting anything less than. I'm not accepting anything less than. I'm really not.
I just,
I
I
can't.
think, I just don't.
Big game player, knows what it takes. He's
I
won.
wish there was a tier in between GOAT and very good, because that's where I'd put him.
He cannot go on a tier with Kolo Touré. I'm sorry, he just
Well, he
can't.
played in a defence with Colo Touré.
An aging Kolo
You-
Touré. I'm not putting anything, and that's nothing against Kolo Touré. He also can't go in a tier with Kyle Walker because even as a City fan, I can admit Vincent Kompany's better than Kyle Walker. But the two different positions as well is something you got to remember.
True. All
Kompany's not
right.
going to get an assist, but even just for that screamer against Leicester, you've got to give him that GOAT tier. I mean,
Well,
my
I don't know
God,
about that.
my lungs nearly came out of my mouth.
I don't know about that for me, but
That's where he's
I'll
staying.
I'll concede it, but you know, it is what it is.
It
We
is
can
what it
agree
is.
to disagree. Agree to disagree on that one. Virgil van
I'd put him in
Dijk.
very good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't think he's done enough to be considered the
I
greatest of all time
definitely
as of
think
yet.
if he carries on, he's going to be up here. Not no
Oh
problem.
yeah,
I can't deny it. I know he's a Liverpool player. He's really, really good.
yeah. I mean, what you'd do to have him now?
I know. Imagine if, because I mean, they were with the fees they were throwing around, 70 mils and stuff for him.
Yeah,
I was thinking, God, I don't spend that much on a defender, but look at how he's transformed that team. Like,
yeah, because it couldn't defend before that.
no,
And
well, they
then,
had Dejan Lovren and Ranga Klavan, didn't they?
yeah,
So it's a big
yeah,
upgrade, isn't it? And then obviously
yeah,
he helps out Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez has come on leaps and bounds, I think.
yeah.
Not just for Liverpool but for England. So yeah, I feel like he can definitely move up here in the future, but very good's going to suit him for now, I'd reckon.
All right. Wes Brown.
Where's Brown?
He's definitely going in good. He's not going any lower.
Yeah.
Again, another one who's played by injuries, a bit like Ledley King. Apparently, people say that if them two had remained fit, they would have been the prime England partnership, and Ferdinand and Terry wouldn't have had a look in. That's how good they were. I'm not making that up, mate. It's a quote.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a really good player, and he was really good at right back that season when we won the double. But yeah, he was a really good player.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, William Gallas.
I'd be tempted to go good or meh. I mean, I think he was a bit of a salty player, really, wasn't he?
I'd put him in the good tier, if I'm being honest. Pretty solid
I
defender.
can agree with you on good. I believe my biggest memory of him is, when he sulked when Birmingham won that penalty. Like he's sulking on the halfway line, wasn't he? Heading hands, like crouched down.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not seeing that actually.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But yeah, I'll stick him in good.
Yeah, I think that's. I think we've done all right with that actually. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And I've got me company in the tier where he belongs.
Well,
okay.
that's open to debate, guys.
If you feel like we've got anything wrong, do let us know. Down below in the comments. Possibly going to do a few more of these. To be honest, they seem to be proving quite popular with the audiences. But yeah, until next time, leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you in another video.